My friends, this week's Torah portion and more contains a review of the Jewish holiday cycle. Jewish festivals celebrate the miracles that occurred throughout Jewish history. Passover celebrates the Exodus from Egypt. Shavuot celebrates the giving of the Ten Commandments at Mount Sinai. And Sukkot celebrates the miracles our ancestors experienced during their journey in the wilderness. The festivals are even named after the miracles they commemorate. Passover is named for the miracle of God's passing over Jewish homes in the plague of the Egyptian firstborn. The festival of Shavuot literally means weeks, and it is named for the 7 weeks our ancestors counted between the Exodus and receiving the Ten Commandments. The festival of Sukkot means booths, commemorating the booths within which our ancestors dwelled in the desert. Finally, the festival names reflect the season in which they fall. Passover is called Chag HaAviv, Aviv meaning spring, because it falls in the early spring when the crops have just begun to ripen. Shavuot is called Chag HaKatsir, meaning harvest, because it occurs in the late spring during the harvest. And Sukkot is called Chag HaAsif, Asif meaning to gather, because it is celebrated in the fall when the crops are gathered. The Hebrew calendar, which is lunar-based, is often manipulated to ensure that the holidays are always celebrated in their respective phases of the harvest agricultural cycle. The lunar calendar is 11 days shorter than the solar calendar. And so every year, the festival should occur 11 days earlier in the season than they did the previous year. And yet, Passover always occurs in the early spring, Shavuot in the late spring, and Sukkot in the fall. We adjust our calendar with periodic leap years to ensure that it coincides with the solar calendar. We want to ensure that the Jewish festivals fall in their correct seasons. In contrast, the holy season of Ramadan, now celebrated by 1.6 billion Muslims across the globe, migrates throughout the year. Like in Judaism, the Islamic calendar is lunar-based. The Islamic year, like the Jewish year, is 11 days shorter than the solar year, and yet it contains no intercalation. This year, Ramadan, the 30-day fast, is observed from mid-April to mid-May. In several years, these holy days of Islam will be observed in the winter months. Ramadan is not connected to any specific season of the year. As we read in this week's Torah portion, the link between the festivals and the seasons is deliberate, so much so that each festival's names reflect its season. Shabbat Shalom.